Mob violence on the rise across the country. Another shocking incident coming in from Uttar Pradesh, where a family of 10 were assaulted by a mob on a moving train. Father strangulates daughter to death in the name of honor after she fled away with her lover. Heartless father confesses to the crime. The NGT announces a 50,000 rupee fine for dumping waste within 500 meters of the Ganga. Also bans construction activity within 100 meters of the river's edge. It's a big mirror now impact BMC to file a criminal case against 6 contractors for using inferior quality material to build city roads. These 6 contractors are part of a 352 crore rupees scam. 4 artists from the Gorkha community returned their awards as a mark of protest against the West Bengal government's policies. Darjeeling continues to be on the boil. BJP MP Rupa Ganguly issues a bizarre challenge to the West Bengal government. Dares TMC and Congress leaders to send their wives and daughters to Bengal to see whether they get raped. Supreme Court appointed committee has put all the contractors of the recently appointed cricket coaches on hold. Culture Machine and Gozoop have recently announced first day menstrual leaves. Period leaves are in the news, and that is what we are discussing today. Have an opinion? Call us now. You're watching The Big Story with me, Avni Raja. Menstruation is not a choice. Despite this fact, the word periods is something that has almost always been a taboo, something to be whispered about, refer specially to the brand name, and to be covered in black polythene. Women often go through a great deal of pain, are forced to make their way to work as if all is fine. The concept of period leave has now come into focus ever since 2 companies in Mumbai announced a first day of periods leave for its female employees. Is this proposed leave a much-needed right, or is it a step back in productivity and gender equality? That's our big story today. Call us, share your views, tell us what you think. Do you wish your company implements this policy? Our phone lines are open. But before that, let's take you to Culture Machine, a digital media company that recently introduced the first day of period leave for its women employees. The company says that this was done in order to make its work environment more conducive for women. Amita Balachandra gets us this report.
First day of period. It's that time of the month when most women go through unbearable pain, cramps and a lot of bleeding. It is also that time of the month when most of them have to make an excuse to skip work. Culture Machine, a digital media company, has come up with an alternative. The company, which has 75 female employees, has now given them an option to take leave on the first day of their period.
A lot of women were complaining about the cramps, the first day uneasiness, cramps and, commuting, local transport. So the thought got triggered there.
Employees at the company couldn't ask for anything better. Even as some of them recount horrific monthly stories, with just a week into the policy, some of them have already started applying.
It gets pretty bad for me. I'm near death. It's very painful. And I'm almost prepared for the pain, and my life revolves around that pain every month, planning holidays and planning weddings or whatever it may be. I'm kind of very mindful of that pain because it is so difficult.
While this is an optional leave available for women, the company is not worried about multiple employees taking leave at the same time.
I think that's what we wanted to do, was actually make sure that we respect and honor what happens during that time of the month, so that there is a label around it. But core values, philosophically, we always actually were okay with people taking time off as long as they need to in order to recover, whether it's mentally or physically.
All smiles, women in the company have now started an online petition urging Women and Child Development Ministry to adopt first day of period policy on a larger scale across the country. Amita Balachandra, Mirror Now.
Now, according to a report of May 2016, the gender pay gap in India stands as much as 27%. The point is, India is paying its working women much less than its men. Now, in keeping with this, would giving them the option of period leave once a month be too much to ask for? Further, how can period leave be implemented? That's a crucial question that we are asking. How do women apply for this? How does one satiate a curious HR person's question over whether periods are painful or not? And more importantly, whether it should be something that's optional or compulsory for companies. We've got Culture Machine, which is one of the companies which has introduced this entire first day of period leave. The big questions that we are asking on Mirror Now is whether this kind of a leave policy should be made compulsory, or is it something that should be left to the discretion of the women? And we also want your opinions. Do call in and tell us what you think. The point is that the wage gap in India is at 27%. India is already paying working women less than men. And at the same time, we have whether asking the option of period leave once a month, is that really something too much to ask for? All right. I'm being joined by Devleena Majumdar of Culture Machine. Thank you very much, Devleena, for joining in. My first point is whether or not one agrees with this entire policy. You've been instrumental in getting people debating and talking about what is usually a very taboo topic. Take us through how this entire thing came up and how did you go about implementing it?
See, we are a young organization and the average age group of employees is 28 years. Also, we have a very healthy female employee representation. So the idea initially got triggered from there. Also, as you know, we create digital content, and Blush is a women-centric channel. It talks about women issues, etc. So the other trigger was, if you can create such great content online, then why not have your core organizational policies aligned to the content that you create? So why not a policy for women who are actually suffering? Some of them actually go through hell on the first or second day of their menstrual cycle.
Right. Now, Devleena, did you mull over whether this is something that should be optional or compulsory?
This is optional in our organization.
Okay.
Of course, we did mull over. We did our own research, and for us, it's better if it's kept optional.
All right. Now, Devleena, the gender pay gap, as I was just referring to some time back, as per a 2016 report, is as high as 27%. Can you confidently say that you follow an equal pay policy at Culture Machine?
Of course, we are equal. There is nothing, when it comes about equality, I would just like to tell you, FOP policy is a gesture to support women who go through the severe menstrual cramps. This has got nothing to do with equality. It is just a human gesture. We are being human to make the workplace fair. Yeah.
Right. The other question I had was with respect to maternity leave, just to, get a perspective on the Culture Machine policy. How many months of maternity leave do you offer?
We have 3 months of maternity leave.
Right. Devleena, the point is that maternity leave is something that is supposed to be 6 months, and that's something that was passed by Parliament.
I would like to just correct this. It can be extended to 3 more months, paid or unpaid. So we have 3 months paid maternity leave in our organization. And if somebody wants to extend this to 3 more months, the person can get it extended. It depends from organization to organization. It varies, actually.
Right now, the point is also that, how will the HR ensure that the leave is being taken for the right reasons and not being misused?
See, at Culture Machine, we trust our employees. And I personally believe trust is the first and most important step towards productivity. If I do not trust my employees, I'll never get back trust. Why do I need to get intrusive and check whether it's actually the first day of period? Right? And anyway, there's a cap. This is just once a month. The maximum cap is 12 leaves in a year. And it's optional.
Right.
So that's my point.
Right. Devleena, do stay with us. We're also being joined by Dr. Dhuru Shah, who's a gynecologist. Thank you very much, Dr. Shah, for joining in. You know, before I come to this specifically to this issue, I want to understand from you, in your experience, what percentage of women experience no pain, what percentage experience, you know, moderate to bearable pain, and how many women, percentage of women experience severe pain?
See, on an average, I think almost 80% of women don't really experience any pain, which is going to affect their daily life routine. On an average, maybe 10 to 15% may have pain, which is a discomfort, which makes them take medication to relieve themselves and to feel better. But they can get on with their daily routine. While the third group, which is a 5% group, wherein they get a lot of pain and they are really miserable. There are some of them who are vomiting, who are in acute pain, and they cannot move out of bed. They are the ones who are stuck to bed, and they're called. This is called what you call severe dysmenorrhea, and that is the group of patients who really require help and assistance. What we say as gynecologists is that if there is any pain which is affecting your daily routine, wherein you cannot get on with your routine work, the first thing you need to do is visit your gynecologist, find out if there is any pathology, any problem which is creating this difficulty. And that is something we normally encourage people to check and know. Because if there is something which can be corrected, we should correct it, number one. If it's affecting the daily routine and if the patient is okay, feeling all right with just taking 1 or 2 tablets of a painkiller and then she's fine to carry on with her work, then that's what we would recommend. Now, coming to, I think, ones who don't have any discomfort or they are quite normally routinely carrying on with their work, they don't really require anything. Maybe they are a little uncomfortable, but then that's it. So
Right.
This is what we normally see.
Right. And in your view, do you think that, the first month of, first day of period leave is something that should be implemented?
I don't know whether it's only first day. The ones who have pain and heavy bleeding, these are both the things we have to consider. There are some women who have, as a matter of fact, I'm sitting in my office right now, and I've had women who have come who have had no pain on the first day or no much bleeding on the first day, but on the second day they bleed profusely. So the question is whether the leave has to be given only on the first day, or it may be on second day also, or it may be third day also, whichever day. But one day, for a person who's bleeding heavy, maybe that one day is not sufficient.
Right.
Maybe she needs 3 days.
Right.
The question is, if a woman is in an office where there are proper facilities available,
Right.
okay, if she's not feeling well, she goes and rests. Or if she's bleeding heavily, she can at least visit the washroom and change. Otherwise she's staining everything everywhere. So if there is a facility for her to be able to take care of herself, I think women are happy to continue working.
Right.
The question is that if she doesn't have the facility, like say, if you go into women who work in offices where there are no proper toilet facilities, where there is no proper hygiene, they don't want to visit the washroom. And sometimes they stay at home only because they don't have the facility to change. I think that becomes a very important issue. Pain is usually taken care of with taking a tablet, but the problem is about the change. And I think instead of, giving only an optional leave, I would rather recommend that offices have proper toilet facilities where women can, change quite frequently. They should have bins where they can, throw away their used sanitary napkins. There should be those facilities available, and women will be happy to work. I mean, in my own office, I have at least 15 women working with me, and not one of them takes leave just because it's the first day of a period.
Right.
I mean, some of them remain uncomfortable.
Dr. Shah, I'm going to get in Devleena from Culture Machine here. Devleena, coming back to you, I want to bring in the point that Dr. Shah was just talking about, which is that it's not necessarily that women feel the excruciating pain only on the first day. It could be on the second day, it could be on the third, it could last over 3 days. How is that something that you would deal with when you implement this kind of a policy?
See, every modern office has all such facilities, and so does our office. So it's not really about office. And doctor, I totally respect what the doctor says. It could be second day or third day or all 3 days. But why we name this FOP is because usually it's seen on the first day women go through severe cramps. And even if it's 5% of women who are going through this, we will stand by the 5%, and that's why it's optional leave. So rest 95% can jolly well come to work and work. You understand? So that's my point.
Right. All right, let's take a look. We went out and got views of people. Take a look at that.
I will definitely feel nicer about it because, yes, it is very difficult on the first day to sit for 10 hours and work.
Having a first day off, it's obviously a bonus because it is a havoc on the human body that there should be a day off on the very first day. I'm sure, being a woman, we all know how much difficult it is for us to reach to the destination when we are traveling to an office.
Dr. Shah, I want to come back to you. Now, when it becomes very severe, is it something that is considered an illness of sorts?
Yes. It is considered as a problem because that pain could be so excruciating that a woman cannot carry on with her work. So then in that case, it's usually not something which, women tend to tell me, oh, even my mother used to have pain, so this is normal. I don't agree with that at all. I say if it is something which is disturbing your lifestyle, you need to get it checked out, make sure, because there are conditions, like a woman may have a fibroid in her uterus, she may be having a cyst in her ovary, she may be having some other disorder like endometriosis, she could be having anything which is causing the pain. So the advice to women who are having severe pain is please see your doctor, confirm why the pain is there and get relief.
Right.
So that's one. But then if you talk about this menstrual leave, I think, if you look into olden times in India, women who were menstruating were asked to sit aside. They were asked to sit aside for 3 days or 4 days and not touch anything in the house because they are supposed to be very unhygienic on those days or whatever it is called. And sometimes I used to feel very upset about it as why are women treated like this? I mean, it's ridiculous that they should be kept aside and not allowed to touch anything. But when I think back, I feel probably those women who were housewives and who had no rest at all any day of the week, I think these 3 days or 4 days must be bliss for them because then they didn't have to do anything at home. They could just rest it out. Of course, they would feel discriminated because you stay in one side of the house, you don't touch this, don't touch that. But it's discriminatory at some point in time. But I think they got their relief and they got their rest, which was a well-deserved rest for a housewife or a homemaker who's working 24/7.
Right,
so I think in that context, it was great. In this context, again, as I said, if you've got good toilet facilities, you've got everything going, and if a woman is in pain, acceptable. She needs the leave. The question is that whether it would be really utilized only by those people who really need it, or whether it would be, misused. So this is something which is totally for everything in life. I think if we monitor ourselves well, if we do things all right, then there is no question of anybody monitoring whether you really have the pain or you really have the bleeding. But anything in life is, some people misuse it, and this also could be misused to some extent.
Right. And Devleena, that was in fact something that we were talking about earlier as well, with respect to, whether this entire thing can be misused. Because yes, as Dr. Shah was saying, 5% of the women who have that severe pain will use it for the right reason, for what they're given the leave for. But then the women who don't feel anything, you never know when they're going to misuse it.
By that logic, any leave can be misused. Even sick leave can be misused. You can present.
No, which is my point, Devleena. The fact is, when you're taking sick leave, when you have casual leave, or privilege leave, those are different.
So, why the question on menstrual leave being misused? Can you tell me? So why not sick leave? That's precisely my point. Why not sick leave being misused? So even the Indian judicial system of our country states, let 99 guilty people walk free, but let not that one not guilty person be hung. So why are we just considering only one
Devleena, my question is, I am asking you, why can...
going to be misused.
Devleena, my question to you is, why can this not be clubbed with sick leave?
Because menstruation is not sickness, and doctor would agree.
No, but the doctor just said that it is also being, it is an illness. It is an illness. If it is severe menstruation cramps, it is called an illness.
If the doctor says menstruation is illness, I rest my case. Menstruation is not illness. We are getting right biology here.
I think Dr. Shah would like to respond to that. Dr. Shah, would you like to respond to that?
Yes.
It's like
Devleena, may I request you to allow Dr. Shah to respond to that?
Let me clarify. Menstruation is a normal physiological phenomenon. It is not a disease. It is normal. It's just like a woman would urinate or defecate every day. She menstruates once a month, which is a normal physiology, correct? When she has extreme pain or when she has extreme bleeding, which is incapacitating her, that is when we say that it could be because of some disease which she may be having in the reproductive system. I totally agree with Devina when she says it's a normal physiological phenomena, and that is why, I'm just butting in because I feel probably I'm being misunderstood. But yes, menstruation is a normal physiological phenomena.
But in Dr. Shah, in case of severe cramps, severe pain, you did say that there is a term for it. It is also because of an illness.
Yes, I agree. See, that's what I explained to you, that there would be a certain percentage of women who will have extreme amount of pain and discomfort or maybe a lot of bleeding, during their menstrual period. Now, the usual notion is that usually, especially girls who are not married, who are single and who are, 17, 18, and they cannot be, they have this problem, they tend to be told by people at home or, probably sometimes their mothers or whoever, that, even I used to have all this pain, it is part of menstruation. Now, this is something I was referring to, that if a woman has a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, a lot of bleeding, she needs to see the doctor to make sure that she does not have any pathology, any abnormality in her system, which is the cause of her pain and bleeding. She should not ignore these symptoms and say this is normal, it is supposed to happen, because normally a person does not get so much pain that she should be incapacitated. There would be a little discomfort, that's it.
Right. All right. I'm going to request both of you to please stay on the line with us. We're getting one of our callers, Akanksha Seda, is on the line. Akanksha, thanks for calling in. Go ahead. Sorry. All right, my apologies. Akanksha is the creative head of Blush Channel. Akanksha, I want to get your thoughts on this. What is your view?
Hi, thank you. I'm still a caller. And as a creative head of Blush and as a woman who menstruates once every month, this was a welcome news for several reasons. First of all, I get medium pain. It's not that I'm debilitated by it, but just knowing that I have an option to take this leave, just by knowing that if I don't choose to take it this month, but next month it will be there for me to take it. It will be there on a day that I really, really need to be horizontal. In my head, my first reaction was, are we as a country even ready for it? Isn't this too progressive for us? But after 2 or 3 days, once this whole debate has opened up, it is saddening because what has gotten attached to this purely biological and a physical move, and the move from Culture Machine is purely on behalf of science and respects the anatomy of a woman and what she goes through month on month. And the debate has completely spun on its head and it's become about things that it should not have become about. And that is a little bit, we went through the motions of anger, sadness, denial, and now we are sitting here and defending a move which requires zero defense, zero explanations. It requires absolutely, it's a no-brainer. In fact, it's funny, we were talking about it and Devlina had to go and help out a friend who's in a hospital right now because of severe period cramps. And we just smiled at each other and were ready to get on call for this live session. But yeah, as an employee and as a woman and as a woman who gets medium to bitter period cramps, a welcome change. And it's a small step towards I think, larger changes that are on course. And you know what? So glad and proud to be a part of an organization that is unafraid of launching the first day of period leave.
as an employee, of course, you're extremely happy with this move. But do you think it's something that this other companies should take up as well?
To each their own. I feel that it's each company whether they believe in this or not. The fact that the petition has been put out again is very aware of the fact that a woman has her. So I personally feel, yes, it should be adopted by all offices, by all companies, sure. But should it be forced down the throats as a rule, as a diktat? Hell no. And it needs to be understood that it's up to each organization to take it up or not. At the end of the day, it's an optional leave and it's a woman's choice.
All right. With that, thanks very much for joining in. Whether or not one agrees with the policy, this is something that is being debated about and has come up in the open. Thank you so much for watching.